All right, lads, going to start now with St. James's Park. It's going to be Newcastle at home to West Ham. Rob, starting with you here. This is a game that could probably go either way. It's two teams that are kind of on a weird spectrum of form, I guess. We see West Ham in seventh place, 44 points in the hunt for European places. Newcastle down in 10th on 40 points. They could drop down as low as 12th if other results go against them this weekend. Yeah, it's just one of those games that you don't know which team is going to show up.
Yeah, I think West Ham would be on the better streak of form at the moment. They've been just crazily up and down. When they've been up, they've been sky high, but when they've been down, they've been
Yeah.
relegation standard. Newcastle have just been, maybe win two every 5 games and maybe get a draw and lose the other two. Now their exit in the FA Cup isn't a big shock. They were playing City,
Yeah.
and they've such a broken team, so not a massive shock. They're probably better off without, the rest of the cup run, which again is only 2 games anyways. But um, yeah, it's a tricky game that I'd like to see West Ham getting a result out of them. But it's a very tricky game.
Yeah, like West Ham have won away win in 2024, but on the other side of that, Newcastle conceded 14 goals in 5 games. So, Tom, going with you for this one. Yeah, like 14 goals in 5 games. So almost 3 goals per game for Newcastle to concede. And like Rob was saying, when West Ham are high, they're red hot. They can bang in goals. Kudos when he's on form is unstoppable. Bowen's hitting form as well. Like they had a big win in the Europa League against Freiburg there last week before the international break. So, like I think my opinion, anyways, like I think form favors West Ham here.
Yeah, form does favor West Ham, but as Rob did say, like West Ham would be. I would kind of compare them to Tottenham whenever they're on form. They're on form, but then they'll lose just stupid games here and there. Um, I'm actually surprised that Newcastle have held on to Howe because of how well he did last year, and the results haven't been as good as last year
Yeah.
for them to be challenging or for the European spots.
I mean, you look at like down in 10th, obviously they wanted to be in the hunt for those European places. Like I think now they'll probably just be lucky to get the Conference League if they get anything. But yeah, results will have to improve big time. Rob, so lastly with you now, do you think obviously Tam touched on it there. Eddie Howe did so well last year with Newcastle. I think Johnny said a couple of episodes ago that maybe I think they really overachieved last season. They got to the Carabao Cup final, which they lost, top four Champions League, which is great for them. But yeah, you see this season, albeit with a few key injuries, they've really struggled this season.
Injuries this year has been a problem for most teams, not just in the league but around Europe. There's too many games going on. It's hard to say that. I do feel bad for Newcastle in a way, because being a United supporter, we've been crippled with injuries as well, and I can't complain about injuries and then say like Newcastle, they're just not good enough to run the squad, because it's happening to every team nearly. So it'd be very contradictory for me to say, oh yeah, they're like Newcastle are having a bad season because of injuries, and they're complaining about our season because of injuries. So it's a tough one. I think Howe should stay. It's not his fault that their big transfer to Ali ended up being a fucking gambler.
Yeah.
Well, even that, but he got caught. It's funny to be a gambler, but to get caught then is another thing. So, it's a tough one. Like they've still got some really good players, and I don't think it'd be fair for either party to leave. I think How, I don't know where else he could go at the moment. Like possibly even looking into next season. Like if Chelsea becomes available, that's such a hot seat. Even if you win the double with Chelsea, you're maybe 4 weeks from being sacked. Like you're at any moment forced to get sacked. Like look at Ancelotti that time.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Arteta's not going to leave. We're not going to get rid of Ten Hag, like unless Liverpool can call him, but I don't think they will. Like they're just looking for Xabi Alonso. So there's nowhere really for him to go. I wouldn't imagine he's a European manager, and vice versa. Newcastle, they're not just going to sack him if they come 10th, like because they know it's not his fault.
For sure. Right, we'll leave it there. So go predictions, Rob. Start with you.
Oh, West Ham 2-1.
Paddy?
Ooh, I will actually go for a 1-1 draw.
Draw. Yeah, I think yeah, just based on the fact that Newcastle right now are kind of just bleeding goals. So I'm gonna go probably West Ham 2-1. I think. Yeah, Kudos probably pop up again on the score sheet. He's just in red hot form.